it straight, never caps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 15 Minutes with G Slack Show, where we aim to humanize those who are demonized and misunderstood. Today, I have with me a very special guest for our first edition of the show. I got a multi talented radio personality, world record holder, good friend of mine, DJ Z13. What's going on, man?
What's good? How are you doing? I'm excited to be here and I appreciate you having me on.
Well, it's great to have you, man. And since we only got 15 minutes, I really want to get down to it. So, first thing I want to start with is how me and you ended up creating our relationship in this journey that we've had so far. How do we meet?
So we met a long time ago, I'd say probably ninth grade, ninth grade, and we started making music. And I've realized that the music industry is what I wanted to be in some sort of shape of way. And I have not a lot of musical talent, so I have gotten my foot in the door how I could. And then I've transferred that into radio and live DJing.
And looking back on it, like I do remember, we met, we didn't hang out that much, but we had met a couple times through, eighth grade, ninth grade, mutual friends, thing like that. And you was always somebody that stuck out to me as, damn, I really want to get to know this kid, man. Like he just seems like he's on it. He's on to something different. And I feel like in the past 4 or 5 years that we've known each other, it's very much shown that you really up top of the competition, man. So I want to ask you, what do you think is different about yourself that puts you ahead of everybody else that's doing the same thing as you?
I think what's different is the same thing that puts you above everyone else who's doing it.
Appreciate it.
It's the fact that we have that drive and have that want to make it one day. And we have different levels of quote unquote making it. But I mean, my goal is to be financially stable doing what I love. So however that is achievable, I'm going to work on it. And I know you are too. So
definitely, man, that's something we all want. Oh, I want to ask you about your start of the work. Because I know you did not start off as a radio personality and a world record holder, right? There was something before that. So talk to me a little bit about your transition into learning that you love music so much and that you wanted to make it and produce it.
Yeah, so I realized I loved it when I was the weird kid who wore Beats headphones around school.
Yep.
And I feel like if it wasn't for surrounding myself with music, I would have never felt in love with music. And for everyone out there, you don't have to be a musical prodigy to make it in the music industry. You just have to be willing to devote time, money, and effort into doing what you love. And that comes with observing and surrounding yourself with music if you want to be in the music industry. And that all types of music, from classical to country to everything, in order to make it in the field that you want to make it in.
I would agree with you. I would definitely say that the industry nowadays is really, you kind of got to bathe yourself in the fire. There's no practice if you're not in it. Like it's not something that you can really be ready for until you have put in countless hours and days and years into knowing the business and knowing the way around things. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand your point on that. So I want to talk a little bit about your discography, specifically music related, because you've released a whole bunch of projects, and such as the project Perfect that we did, I believe, what was that, 2017, 2016?
2017, 18.
You did GC Hefe's project, banger. You know what I mean? So what made you go from producing and engineering albums, which you were great at, I can say from personal experience, to switching over to DJing and starting to do radio mixing and things like that?
Yeah, I feel like it was an easy transition. I feel like when I was producing and engineering and stuff like that, it taught me that the musical side of things, and it's still being applied to this day. Like this week, I dropped a mix on SoundCloud of me DJing, and if I didn't know how to mix music, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And if I didn't know how to produce music, I wouldn't have known how to do it. It started off with like I never knew I wanted to go into the radio and DJing industry, but it started with music production, even basic levels of music production, and it worked its way up. Like when we first started, we weren't even EQing our music.
Nope.
Now we're into mastering and everything like that. So
yeah, one session straight to SoundCloud.
Straight to
No revisiting, nothing like that. We'll record outside, post it next day.
Yep, that's how it
But
was.
that, I mean, that's definitely how we got comfortable with the learning process though, and comfortable with being able to grind out and do all these things that we do.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I want to ask you, since you out here doing all these clubs and living your best life as DJ Z13, what is your favorite club to spin at?
That's a good question. I don't want to make any clubs out there
Mm-hmm.
hate me, but because I love them all equally. But my favorite one at the moment is got to be this one in Cleveland. It's on the west side. It's in Lakewood. It's called Around the Corner, and it has just been every time I've played there has been such a vibe. And I don't think there's been a show there where there hasn't been 800 to 1,000 people. And it is just it's very nice to go into a club and not have to worry about selling tickets or getting people in the door. It's really nice having a core group of people that like that type of music and respect you as a DJ, and then they come out and see you. So I would have to say Around the Corner in Lakewood. And then as for Detroit, I've only DJed at a handful of clubs in Detroit, but my favorite one in Detroit would have to be Trust, just because I was a resident there over the summer, and I hope to return again next year.
Yeah, that sounds great. And hey, I'm gonna be in Detroit next year, so you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to come see you spinning one of those clubs because amazingly I haven't seen you live at a club yet.
You
You know what I
saw me
mean?
when I was in the basement working on practicing,
That's
and
true though. That is true. I want to talk about a couple of your accomplishments because got a whole lot, my brother. So not only have you released a couple studio albums, you also hold a world record. Can I
yeah,
please hear a little bit about that? I know it's old news, but you know, that's still pretty amazing.
yeah, no, it's really cool. Me and my friend Colin Kennedy, he's the co-host of 808s and Mixtapes, broke a world record for the world's longest radio interview on February 5th and 6th of 2022. I've got it memorized at this point for how
Yep.
much I've had to talk about it, but it was really cool. And I don't know if I ever talked to it about you, but that's been one of my. I have a few goals, and that has been one of them for a long time. So
I won't
um,
lie. When we were kids, I remember you saying to me, bro, that you wanted to get a world record. Didn't know what it was for, didn't
yep.
know yet, but hey, you did that, man. And that's a real congratulations to you cuz I don't know anybody that got a world record over some creative shit like how you and Colin did because I remember I believe I was in Cleveland like what, like a month before y'all did that or something like that, or maybe a little bit earlier, like
It
earlier
was like,
the year before. But I just
yeah.
remember hearing y'all talk about it, and I'm like, man, these dudes done caught lightning in a bottle with this one. You know what I mean? Like this is such a great idea that y'all did. And so tell me a little bit about how 808s and mixtapes was created because I know that's kind of your baby. And y'all do an amazing show for JCU Radio. So just tell me a little bit about that, how that got organized.
Sophomore year of college. We started it, me, Dante, and this guy named John. And then shortly after the first or second episode, John left, and we had a guest come on the show named Swayfather. And Swayfather brought his engineer, Colin. And then about a month into that, Emily joined the team, and she's been handling our socials and photography, as well as being on there ever since. And so, yeah, it's been a blessing. And we're actually in the process now of getting two new, no one knows this yet. This is brand new,
Ooh.
but we're getting two new co-hosts of the show up and running, getting them trained right now, and they will be on starting for season 5 of 808s Mixtapes.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks. Heard
Yeah,
it here first. Well, that's great to hear. Is there any? Is we got a girl? We got a guy? Can you give me any information?
yeah. So there's it's two guys. One of them's name is Jay, and
Hmm.
one of them's name is Moody, and Hamoud, and we're really excited to get to work with both of them. And they bring some new, fresh ideas to the plate, and we're going to need someone to pass it on to when we graduate in less than a year and a half. So we are hopefully going to get them up and running very soon. And I think they're both from the Cleveland area. I could be wrong. I think they're both. I know Moody has been to the Bronx before. On Google Maps, he went on Google Maps, but he's. But I think they're both from Cleveland, so they'll be around and carry on our legacy. So
Okay, yeah, that's good to hear. Damn, we are getting old, man. You talking about you about to graduate school next year?
I actually personally don't think he would have came in if it wasn't for the fact that I had a 248 area code. I feel like that was that Michigan connection is really what brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
But he was really cool. Every time we have a guest in, whether it's Waka Flocka Flame or the Temptations or whoever, they're all amazing. But DDG was probably we were talking about this on the show 2 weeks ago of our favorite guests, and he was a lot of people's favorite guest for a good reason. He brought good content, and he actually double posted from the studio, which is pretty cool on Instagram. Uh,
Mm.
and on his Instagram, he posted from our show, and then a picture with Shaq, and then from our show again. So we thought that was really cool. And anyone that shows love to us, we're going to show love to. So we're still repping DDG, and we really appreciate him coming on the show.
And you guys do have a great studio. Having been there, all three of the rooms are beautiful. Y'all run a great production out of there, man. So I want to also tap on, because you don't just only deal with audio engineering and music engineering, you also deal with videography. For instance, I this wasn't your first project, obviously, but when we did the Christmas song, won an award for that. You went out to LA for a video award too. Am I correct? Tell me a little bit about your LA trip and how that was, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it's funny you mentioned that both the LA trip and the Christmas music video won Michigan Emmy Awards from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And I was actually talking about this with Emily a few days ago, and it's pretty cool to have awards like that you're able to put on your resume. And really, video has just been something that online people resonate with more than audio. So when I'm needing content, I go to video. And so because of that, I had to learn video and Photoshop and all that. And it would be nice to have people do it for me one day, but for
Mm-hmm.
now we're balling on a budget. So I had to learn it all myself. And it's been fun.
Would you say you like directing or editing more?
I mean, you've seen it. I feel like there's better editors out there. But I don't mean to toot my own horn, but directing has always been something I've liked to do. And it's been I don't know why, but I can move people and crowds how I want them to be, and it's been pretty beneficial for both on and off screen
Since
production.
you're not gonna toot your own horn, I'm gonna toot it for you. So get this, all my viewers out there. For this Christmas video and the video we did afterwards for a song called These Days by me and one of my old friends named Dak, who raps. This man right here got, I don't know, I want to say 50 some people in a day, rounded all them up, bunch of high schoolers, college kids, bunch of friends, kids around the neighborhood, things like that. We rented out a movie theater on what, 2 days notice,
Yep.
3 days notice, something like that. And y'all gotta realize we was doing this when we had no money. We wasn't putting no like crazy bands into our videos. Like we was literally just some high schoolers having fun.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I mean, you've came on 808s 3 or 4 times now, and it's been a blessing every time. And we're gonna have you on.
Of
You
course.
have a very special 5-time award. So next time you come
Ooh,
in,
I get a
uh,
trophy or something.
it's a plaque. It's really cool. We've only given out one before. You're tied with the second most appearances. So we'll have to get that plaque done and get that in for
Okay.
the next season, because we're approaching season 5 as we speak, and we're looking for some guests. So it's gonna be exciting.
One thing more I want to talk about. We're gonna go back in the past a little bit, and we don't have too much time left. But really quick, I just want to ask you, what's it like coming from where we came from, recording in the school studio, doing like a show at school for Mr. Athens and all that, having the crowd go stupid, to where you are now? Give me like a summary of how you feel about that.
I feel like it has been a lot of fun, and I feel like the people that weren't on the train before that exact moment of walking on stage at Mr. Athens have missed their shot and are not going to be on that train.
Yes,
So I don't know why, but that was a pivotal moment, and I still talk about that all the time. And
man.
I'm glad to have shared that with you. And I feel like it's been up and up since then, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we gonna be able to get up on stage together again and rock some fucking crowds. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you, that shit is one of the funnest things I do. But until then, we just gonna keep on holding down the fort. We gonna keep working. We gonna keep on making this money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I feel that.
All right, my man. So shout out all your socials real quick for the people that's watching.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere, pretty much at DJ Z13. It's like 313 for Detroit, Z13 for Zach. So that's
DJ
or
Z13. DJ
808s,
Z13.
808s and mixtapes as well. 808 mixtape. So
Anybody else to shout out, man? The viewers is watching. Anybody
yeah,
else?
shout out you guys. It wouldn't be possible to do any of this without having people support you. So
Yep.
everyone that supports, shout out to you, and everyone who does not. No shout outs to you.
Man, you know it. Well, hey, thank you for this great interview. And I just need you to say one thing for me.
Mhm.
Say, I'm DJ Z13, and I just did 15 minutes with G Slack.
I'm DJ Z13, and I just did 15 minutes with G Slack.
Bang!
Yeah,
We out.
yeah, yeah. I said Big G Slack, give it straight, never caps.